Hello everybody. Um, I'm doing this video on the physical forms. I've been reviewing physicals and there's quite a few things that are missing on the physicals that have been turned in, and I want to make sure that you guys are reviewing them before you get it to me or Danielle, because we would like to have this be a one and done type of thing instead of having to send it back to you. Parents have to go get information that's missing and so forth. So I'm going to start from the very top of the physical form and work my way down. Very important at the top is you want to make sure that it's the correct physical form. It's not an old one from last year. You'll notice the difference of the one this year is going to start with Southern California. It may say JAAFC, or it may spell out Southern California Junior All-American Football and Cheer. Very important that we're on the correct form. If you have any questions, please send me a picture and I could let you know. Top, chapter name. That is going to be the chapter you're with. Are you Marietta, Menifee, PDLQ? Division. That is your junior micro, peewees. Make sure that's listed so that we are correctly putting the players under the age and weight that you want them to be. Then you're going to go down. It's going to have their name, address, zip code, the age. That's the age that they're going to be as of July 31st. Some parents are putting out their current age, which is okay, but very important that they have the correct date of birth. There was a couple that the parents put their date of birth, and they did catch it and did a new form, but we want to make sure that the date of birth is for the child. And circle male or female. Another thing very important that's been missing is participants' medical history. You're going to make sure that they're either marked yes or no. If there is any yes answers, just below an explanation needs to be listed. For example, allergies. We need to know what are they allergic to. Medications. List the medications. So that's also something very important we need to make sure is on that paper and filled out. Parent signature, their name printed, the relationship to the child, and the date that they filled out the form. When you get notes back from me, if it says parent's date missing, that's what I'm referring to. They didn't date where they were signing. Section 2, which is where the physical is being filled out by the medical professional. We want to know the participant's name. Make sure that's written out. Please check the following. We have the height that needs to be written down. Very, very important, the weight. Make sure weight is put down there. If it's in kilograms, no problem. I could convert it. Then it goes on to blood pressure, ears, mouth, doctors. Some may, put little notes next to it or just check it off. The next thing I have a lot of physicals that are missing is where it says, I hereby certify that I am a licensed state examiner and have examined the above named individual, etc., etc. That little line next to that needs to be checked off. It needs to be marked. It could be a check, it could be an X, it could be the doctor's initials, but that needs to be checked off. If we don't have it, that's telling me that that participant is not cleared to participate. Then we go down and it's the medical professional signature, their name that is printed. They put down the date that they're filling this out. The reason we have two different dates on this is they could be filling it out at a later date after the physical is performed. So the next important thing is the date physical was actually performed. I need a date put there. I need to know when did that player have their physical done. That's missing on a lot of forms I'm getting. Then down below, we're asking for the medical professional's address information. On the right-hand side is the mandatory stamp. A lot of these stamps will have the information, the address, the phone number, and all that with the doctor's name printed. If that's what it is, that's okay if they don't fill out the left portion about the address. I just need to see an address at the bottom, whether it's in the stamp or handwritten. But it is very important that we do have that stamp. So I'm just going to quickly review things that I am catching on these physicals. The participant's medical history. it's been left completely blank. Or things are marked yes, but there's no explanation what it is. Like, for example, under physician's care. Why are we under physician's care? We want to make sure that we're okay with these things. Allergies. We want to know, okay, is that player allergic to bees? Do they have an EpiPen that they have to use? We need to have a little bit of medical history there. Signatures and dates. Everything that asks for a date, make sure there's a date there. The weight missing, we want to make sure that's there. Very important that we're checking off, that the doctor checked off that the player's clear. And then the next very, very important thing is that date that the physical was performed. It's amazing how many physicals I've received without a date put there on either parts. So, and then the mandatory doctor stamp. I hope this is a little bit more explanation. I just wanted to do a quick review because, like I said, a lot of physicals I am getting are missing very important information. Stuff that we need to have. Otherwise, they're not going to be cleared. And I will be sending back to you the physicals saying, hey, this needs to be done. Trying to get this done as quickly as possible. I know we've got practice coming around the corner. So let's just work on that. Get together. Let's review these. It's quickly. If you know exactly what you're looking for, it should be fairly quickly. Any questions? Reach out to me via email or text. Have a great day, you guys. Talk to you later.